So all throughout the Gospels, Jesus seems to particularly show interest in children and their faith. He says things like, humble yourself like a child. Have faith like a child. Do not hinder the little ones to come to me. When I think about some of the harshest words that Jesus was ever recorded having said, I think about his words to the Pharisees who should have known better. You snakes, you brood of vipers, you make those who follow you twice as fit for hell as you are. I think about when Jesus turned to Peter and said, get thee behind me, Satan. You are positioned as a stumbling block between me and what God and what I have been brought here to do. And then I think about the passage that was just read. When Jesus says, if any of you were to cause these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for that person if a millstone was tied around their neck and they were drowned in the sea. Jesus Christ said these words. And these uncharacteristically harsh words from Jesus seem to come out of nowhere. Because Jesus and the disciples are just kind of hanging out, doing their thing, going from town to town, when a couple of the disciples asked Jesus, hey, Jesus, who will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus, perhaps annoyed at their mindset, escalates from, unless you become like one of these children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven, to, if you were to hinder one of these little children, it would be better for you to die a horrible death. All the way to, if you identify sin in your life, cut it out. Even if that means plucking out your right eye or cutting off your right hand in order to do so. I imagine that those disciples were sad that they had asked God the question about who would be greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So what's going on here? Why is Jesus so riled up? Well, whether the disciples realize it or not, I think they touched on something that really matters to God and to eternity. That's like when your children come up to you and ask what they think is a seemingly innocent question, right? But you know that their understanding of the answer to that question is going to evolve over time. It can actually have a great impact into how they live their life. So in that moment, you could smile and just point at mommy's belly. Or your love for them might tempt you to put the fear of God in them about the dangers of premarital sex. I'm thankful for Children's Church today. Church, we should really pay attention when Jesus gets this serious about something. We should really listen when Jesus talks like this in the scriptures. Because the same Jesus that can say to the woman caught in the act of adultery, neither do I condemn you. That can say to the thief on the cross, truly I tell you this day you will be with me in paradise. And can even say about the people who put Jesus on the cross, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. It's gotten real serious with the disciples. Like a parent that watches their child starting to reach up and touch a hot stove, Jesus jumps all over the disciples. It says, you are in a danger zone right now. I know that this wasn't really your question, but there is real eternal danger here. Jesus tells his beloved followers, do not mess with the innocence of my children.